What's poppin', everybody, and welcome back to another Digimon Top 5 video. It's been a while since I did one of these, but these scripts take time. But now we're back for another one. Today I'll be covering why each season of Digimon is ranked the way they are. Since Digimon Fusion is straight trash, I'm not even gonna bother including that as a season on this list. And keep in mind that when it comes to a list like this, there are bound to be some major spoilers, so watch at your own discretion. Before we do begin, do not forget to check out the description for links to my social media like Twitters, so you can be updated on what's going on over here. Let's shoot for 3 likes on this video, and it's time to begin! At number 5 is coincidentally the 5th season of the franchise, Digimon Data Squad, or Digimon Savers. This season followed the adventures of Marcus Damon, a hot-headed agent of the Digimon Data Squad, or DATS, as well as his fellow agents, Thomas Northstein, Yoshino Fujieda, and eventually Keenan Cryer. The government organization is responsible for maintaining the peace between the human and digital world. The plot of the show is driven by the actions of one of the main antagonists, Akihiro Kurata, a scientist with intentions to rule both dimensions. After his defeat, the main threat then shifted to King Drasil, the ruler or god of the digital world, who felt that the destruction of the human world was necessary for the protection of the digital world. Ultimately, King Drasil is defeated and everyone is able to return to their lives. This season of Digimon takes a drastically different spin from the first 4 seasons, both in art style and in storyline. It's directed towards a more mature audience, and its art style is more representative of shonen anime like Zatch Bell and Naruto. Concepts specific in this incarnation include DNA, or Digimon Natural Ability, the source of Digivolution. DNA manifests itself in the hands of the human partner as a glowing aura and is channeled through the phrase DNA charge. As high levels are attained, this sequence becomes gradually more intense. Digimon Data Squad is also the only series to show the ruler of the entire digital world. The reason this season is at the bottom of the list is because in comparison to the other seasons, it's a little too dark in tone for the entire season. Of course, there are some lighthearted moments here and there, but there was never a break from some overwhelming threat, whether it was Marukimon, Kurata, or King Drasil. Something was always wrong that needed to be fixed, at least in other seasons, to get some sort of breather for 1 or 2 episodes before returning to the action. For this one, the balance wasn't quite there. Making its way to number 4 on the list is Digimon Tamers, or the 3rd season. From virtual pets to card games to real-life creatures, this season follows a group of fans of the series who, after meeting their own Digimon partners, fight invading Digimon bio-emerging from their world, meaning they become real. Hikaru Matsuki, Henry Wong, and Rika Nonaka, along with their Digimon Gyamon, Terriermon, and Renamon, grouped together in order to push back each increasing threat. For the majority of the show, everything took place in the human world, more specifically, the Shinjuku ward of Tokyo. It was only when Calamon, the catalyst behind Digivolution, was kidnapped that the group, along with Kazu, Kenta, Jerry, and eventually Suzy, went into the digital world. Due to that aspect, this season portrays the notion, what if Digimon were real? While the main group's Digimon partners are more or less benevolent in nature, the bio-merged Digimon are shown to be quite antagonistic, so a top-secret government organization called Hypnos is responsible for sending them back to the digital world. When it becomes too big of a job for the adults, the children come in to take care of it. With the help of their D-powers, or D-arcs, the Tamers can Digimodify their Digimon to take on whatever task is at hand. These modifications can include granting the Digimon wings for flight, hyper speed, increased firepower, or even Digivolution. For me, what really made Digimon Tamers stand out is how they handle various existential crises. Many interactions between the main characters and their Digimon involve this basic question. Though Digimon are made of data, are they truly real? And what is the meaning of their existence? For a kids show, there are some pretty heavy elements incorporated. As the 3rd incarnation of the franchise, it was definitely something different that was brought to the table. Not necessarily bad though. At number 3 came to a surprise to even myself, because my favorite 2 characters come from this season. Next up is Digimon Adventure 2. I'll get to why it's only at number 3 in a moment, but now let's talk about just the synopsis. Being a direct sequel to Digimon Adventure, it takes place 3 years later. This time, the threat to the digital world is not a Digimon itself, but a human child who calls himself the Digimon Emperor. This new villain enslaves Digimon with his dark rings, controlled by his towers known as control spires. These control spires also restrict the natural process of digivolution. Due to this, a new generation of Digidestined are called upon to stop this evil. They consist of Davis Motomiya, Yoli Inoue, Cody Hida, as well as TK and Kari. To combat the Digimon Emperor, their partner Digimon gained the ability to digivolve through the ancient process known as armored digivolution. Eventually, the Digimon Emperor, who's revealed to be Ken Ichijoji, is defeated and the control spires are inactive, allowing the Digimon to naturally digivolve again. And as they are stronger than their armor forms, armored digivolution became obsolete except through modes of transportation. Also introduced was the concept of DNA digivolution, in which two Digimon, mainly champions, fused together to form a more powerful ultimate level Digimon. As enemies were becoming stronger, this became more necessary, another reason to essentially disregard armored digivolution. The concept was really cool, but it gradually fell off for bigger and better things. Now, sadly, there are several reasons for this season placing only number 3. As for the new characters, I'm not a fan. I think Davis is too immature to be a competent leader, Yoli annoys me to no extent, and Cody is a giant stick in the mud. Aside from Davis, who develops some, there is basically little to no development in the others. Sorry, I just don't like them. And the plot, though it was pretty good in the beginning, it began becoming too much to handle. So get this, the Digimon Emperor was the original villain, who in actuality was being manipulated by Arukenimon, who was being controlled by a human man named Yokiwa Okawa, who turns out to be Malomyotismon. And the fact that they bounce back and forth between the human and digital world so much doesn't necessarily help. As a kid, I didn't really see these issues as problems for retention, but if anybody wants to get into the series today, this sort of wishy-washy plot could turn many off if they don't pay close enough attention. As we're close to wrapping up this list, we bring it to the season that claims number 2 spot, the season to start it all, Digimon Adventure. When most people think of Digimon, whether they're fans or not, it's more often than not this season that comes to mind, more specifically the mascot Digimon like Agumon or Greymon. So 7 children, after receiving devices known as Digivices at summer camp, are transported to the digital world with the task of driving back the evil forces that reign supreme. Upon arrival, they are greeted by other Digimon partners who stick with them through thick and thin. These children, Takamiya, Matt Ishida, Sora Takanushi, Koshiro Izzy Izumi, Mimi Tachikawa, Joe Kido, and TK Takaishi, explore the new world, learning, growing, and forging stronger bonds with not only each other, but also with several Digimon friends. By working together, the Digidestined work to defeat evil, powerful Digimon such as Devimon, Edamon, Myotismon, and the Dark Masters. During the course of the season, the group of children handle various internal challenges, not just those on the battlefield. In fact, towards the middle of the season, they all receive objects known as crests, each representing the strongest aspects of the personality. For the 7, these traits are courage, friendship, love, knowledge, sincerity, reliability, and hope. By truly embodying these traits, they gain the ability to help the Digimon digivolve beyond the champion level. As the first season of the franchise, we got to see the power these Digimon possess, especially as we progress and they get even stronger. I've mentioned this time and time again, but some of the most iconic scenes in the show come from this season, such as the fight between Angemon and Devimon, as well as Wizardsmon's sacrifice. It also set the precedent for the formula of the characters we have for later seasons. You have the hot-headed leader, the lone wolf second in command, and what I like to call the Green Ranger character, meaning that in every season of Digimon, a new addition to the team comes. For example, Kari, Ken, Ryo, Koichi, and Keenan. Also, because we have so many characters, the audience has a better chance to relate to someone, as opposed to having one main character with many aspects to their personality. This way, it's appealing to a larger range of people. My all-time favorite is the season of Digimon that gets way too much hate, even though it is absolutely fantastic. Of course, I'm talking about Digimon Frontier. This time, the digital world is on the verge of being destroyed by the corrupted Cherubimon, who's using the world's data to become more powerful. 5 children, Takuya Kanbara, Koji Minamoto, JP Shibayama, Zoe Orimoto, and Tomihime are chosen to thwart this new evil. However, unlike other seasons, instead of gaining Digimon partners to fight side by side, these children gain the ability to spirit evolve into Digimon themselves, mainly into 5 of the 10 legendary warriors. The other 5 warriors, however, serve Cherubimon in laying waste to the digital world. It is revealed after the defeat of Cherubimon that a fallen angel Digimon, Lucimon, was the true mastermind, and his defeat was necessary for the restoration of the digital world. Like in the previous season, Digimon Frontier plays more on the fact that everything in the digital world, including the humans, is comprised of data, more specifically, a fractal code. Should this fractal code be revealed, it can easily be absorbed and manipulated for whatever purpose. Fractal code affects the very landscape of the world, and if it's digitized by the wrong hand, everything becomes a barren wasteland. In order to protect the digital world from the evil warriors, this generation of Digidestined used ancient artifacts known as spirits to become the living embodiment of the legendary warriors. The 10 legendary warriors each specialize in a particular element, including flame, light, wind, ice, etc. The children each possess 2 spirits, a human and a beast spirit, the latter being initially a lot harder to control due to the amount of raw power and the spirit's primal nature. Personally, I think the season is amazing for several reasons. The first being the characters. Takuya is arguably one of the best leaders in Digimon ever, second only to Tai. Compared to the others in terms of maturity, he's definitely a lot more mature than Davis and Takato. Koji gives off that Sasuke vibe, and that's a plus for any anime lover. And his yin-yang interaction with Takuya is right on the money. Tommy is one of the most dynamic characters, going from sort of a spoiled crybaby to a valued member of the team, who learns what true friendship means. And we can't forget Neymon, whose lighthearted banter always brightens the mood. Plot-wise, I think Digimon Frontier did a great job. A corrupted celestial Digimon tries to gain absolute control by absorbing all the digital world's fractal code. But like always, there's a greater evil that needs to be addressed. This time is Lucemon. There's also some amazing backstory behind Lucemon, Cherubimon, and the 10 legendary warriors. Digimon Frontier is really heavy on religious references, so I love it so much for that. So that's just gonna conclude my top 5 seasons of Digimon, or why these are ranked the way they are. Of course, I know you guys have different opinions on these seasons, so leave your own thoughts and rankings in the comment section below. And if you are new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So if you want more of these in the future, you'll be ready to go. And don't forget, go ahead and check out their social media, the Twitters, so you guys know what's going on. You guys know when these will be uploaded. And with that, I'm gonna get up out of here. Deuces, y'all. Peace.